Hey everyone, Adam here. Here is a ghost match that I played last night. I've been teasing this for a while. What I did is I took an idea from a guy named Jaworski. I believe that's how to pronounce his name. I will put a link to his channel somewhere, maybe up here or in the description or somewhere. He had a thing called the Gauntlet where he was trying to break and run in a row an 8-ball rack, a 9-ball rack, and a 10-ball rack. And I decided that seems hard, so I will take that concept and make it into a ghost match. So what I'm doing here is it's a race to 9 versus the ghost. First rack is 8-ball, then 9-ball, then 10-ball, and then go back to 8-ball and rotate. If I can take ball in hand after the break, it doesn't matter if I scratch, doesn't matter if I make a ball or not. If I run out, I get a point. If I don't and I miss at any point or scratch, the ghost gets a point. Let's head over to the table and check this out. All right, like I said, this was Saturday, July 13th when I recorded this, and it's the 14th when I'm narrating this. And let's get going here. So I'm doing a number of different breaks here, mostly from the left side. That one is more the second ball break, and I kind of wanted to do 3 different breaks. So my 9-ball and my 10-ball break are different. I kind of want to make the 8-ball break different as well. Again, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter if I make anything or not in these on the break, because I'm going to take ball in hand. Here, solids and stripes both look good. Solids are kind of a mess down by the 4-7-9. Stripes, the 13 is really the only issue. The 9-ball is also kind of an issue. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to come out for a shot on either the 15 or the 13. I hit it entirely too hard, but I did clear the 9 and get on the 13. Probably should have taken a little bit longer to look at that and plan out a better approach. That was pretty sloppy, and that's a really easy way to miss a shot in these matches. Here I want to spin around for the 14 in the same pocket. Instead, I hit it. Not terrible. I have a lot of angle on this 12, but if I spin it with or kill it with some inside low, so this is going to be bottom left in this case, I should be able to come up to the left rail and in between the 14 and the 5, right like that. And then I can play either the 14, the 15. I was really trying to get on the 14, but then I decided to look at the 9 and realize that it goes from here. 9 is still in kind of a goofy spot because of the 7, and you can't go really up table to get at it, so decided to take this. And here I can just float to the rail and out for the 15. If I do this right, I can hold for the 14 in the side. I don't really want to try to stun for the 14 in the left, lower left corner. So I want to try, in fact, actually that's what I'm doing. I'm stunning between the 14 and the 4 right there. I must have had a better angle than what it looks like on the screen because I was able to hold that pretty easily. Here I want to get a little bit better angle on the 10. If I was right on the spot in the middle there, that would be perfect. I missed it by a little bit. I'm still good on the 10. I just have to do a little bit more to get to the 8. The 10 is moving away from the 8 now. It's going to go, the cue ball is going to hit the right side rail. I just have to put some top, just a bit of right to kind of straighten things out. And 8-ball is an easy shot in the upper left. And I'm on the board, 1-0. Watch me do laps around the pool table here, and we are on 9-ball now. You'll see by the giant 9-ball in the lower left corner here. There's a bit of a problem here trying to get on the 2 from the 1. I pretty much have to follow to the top rail, to the right rail, and then over in line with the 2. and hopefully get enough angle to be able to get on the 4 somehow. For the 4 on the right side looks good. As long as this slows down, this should work. I have just enough angle to be able to either, I could do this a number of different ways. I could go forward around the 9. I could stun straight to the left with not really any draw, but just kind of a punch stroke. I think that's what I'm looking at. I'm actually going top on this one, so I want to go, I'm trying to go down around the 9. Instead, I went right into the 9. And thankfully, just enough of the 4 is sticking out. I can go to the top rail, basically in between the 8 and the 6, aiming for the middle diamond, the Brunswick logo, and then bring it back for the 5. Put a little bit of left on that just to kind of open up the angle a little bit. Here I want to get this off the rail however I can, if I can. And that's why I hit that kind of hard, because I wanted it to kind of force it into the rail and out so I can get it, don't have to bridge on the rail. Here I can try to get in line with the 7 on the lower right, or I could go all the way down and play the 7 on the side. I think I like the lower right better, and then I can just draw back on the 8. We'll see what I do here. Yeah, actually got pretty bad on this because I'm on the other. I wanted to be straight up and down or to the left of where I am now. As we look on the screen to my left, or to my right, to our left as we're looking on the screen. Here I have to draw it over one rail to the left rail and back. Couldn't put a whole lot on that because if I catch the draw too early, it's going to scratch on that left side. And if I put too much on it, it's easy to miss. So here's just the one rail to the 9. I overran it, and I'm trying to slow it down with my slamming on the table fist powers, which do not work. And now I have a really, really tough cut in the left side. I could bank it. I could, if I was playing an opponent, I might choose to play safe, but this is a ghost. If I miss this, it's his point. So I cut it in the side. Cue ball flies around, no chance of scratching. And I'm up 2-0. We are on to 10 ball. Now, when I first talked about doing this, I was just assuming I was going to lose the 10 ball racks. I'm not as good as 10 ball as I am at 8 and 9, mostly because I just don't play it enough. I think on the on my individual videos on the channel, I have over 500 9-ball table runs, 350 to 400 8-ball table runs, and like 17 10-ball runs. I just don't play it. And that's probably, if you break that ratio down, that's probably how much 10-ball I played versus 8-ball and 9-ball. Here, I just want to spin this with some draw down the lower, down the left side, just like that, a little bit past the side. Get a decent angle on the 2. Straight in is fine here. I tend to get straight in when I don't mean to, so having it here is fine. I would just play a stop shot. Having a little angle be nice. I can just draw it up the table a little bit, just like that. Here I'm going to come one rail off the right side and try to get a angle above the 5 ball, so when I'm shooting the 5, the cue ball is going to the top rail, so I can get better on the 7. Yeah, like that. So if I'm straight in on the 5, it's probably okay, but if I'm on the bottom side of the 5, it's bad. So I wanted to get on the bottom side of the 5 here. I have been researching Telestrator software for OBS. If anyone happens to know of any, let me know. There's one that was out about 4 years ago. It does not work on version 30 from what I'm seeing. So I could telestrate and draw all over the screen. Here I want to hold the angle on the 8, but it's not easy. So even just hitting it lightly like that, I come way up table here. It's still fine. What I want to do here is I want to hold for the 9. I'm not sure I like trying to hold for it with this big of an angle. I think the better option would have been to go all the way down table, because look how light I hit it, and I almost didn't hold it. I suppose that's okay. I could have put max right on it and hit it softer and had the cue ball come out 1-2 rails into the 9, but that's risky. And here I just want to go back and forth, just like this. I want to hit a little bit more, but this is perfectly fine. Like if my opponent missed and left me this, I would take this all day. And I said I was going to lose probably all the 10 balls, and here I got one. So I'm on a roll here. I'm up 3-0. Now, when I started this session, I've been working on my grip, as I probably told in the last video, where my wrist normally is like this, and it shouldn't be. It should be straight up and down when I'm cueing. So I've been working on a lot of different things, and in this session was rough. I started out one recording, it didn't go well, and then I just worked on some 8-ball racks, just working on getting in stroke. And I don't think I ran an 8-ball rack in this ghost setting for 45 minutes, which is very unlike me. Struggling, I'd run 6 and then just miss, or I'd get out, get out of line, and things would go bad. But anyway, let's get back to this. Both stripes and solids look really good here. I think I made one of each. No, I didn't. I made a stripe. The 10 is kind of on its own if I go for stripes. And I think that's... the 14 is kind of blocked by the 3. It does go in the lower left. But I decided to take solids here. Other than the 7-ball, everything's down on either one line or the other. So I can kind of take care of this line, use the 7 to get to the other line, and then go for the 8. So the 5-ball is probably going to be the key ball here, right before the 8-ball. Played that one just to hold for the 2. I could have gone for the 7 here, and I probably should have. But I'm not in that bad of a spot. Right here, I can, I don't want to go into these stripes. I want to avoid those. So I can kind of just stun over and float. If I go to the rail between the first and second diamond over on the left rail, kind of where I'm looking now, I should be able to stun over there, just play the 7 on the side. Yeah, and that's going to work out really well. Here it depends on the angle I have. I'd really like to play the 1 first and then the 8. The 1 first and then the 5, so I can get on the 8 right there. If I have that angle, that's what I'm going to go for. If I don't have that angle, then I'm going to have to play the 5 first and go for the 1. I was able to punch this up pretty well, so I can play the 1 now and then play the 8 and then the 5 and the, I don't know why I keep saying that, the 5 and then the 8 in the upper right. I'm a little straight on this. I don't want to really stop it because it is kind of a big angle. I want to follow this forward just a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately I'm on the rail. I knew I was going to be, so I'm going to grab the short cue right away and just take my medicine, get my rail practice in. And that is, if you're counting, it's 4 in a row there. You can tell because there's a big giant 4 in the lower left, also on the scoreboard. Apologies for the kind of blurry scoreboard, but it's easier for me to do this and keep track live than it is for me to do after the fact and put graphics on the screen. So that's why I'm doing that. We are back to 9-ball. Fantastic break here. In fact, I wouldn't even mind not taking ball in hand here if this is a regular rack. But because I get the luxury of taking ball in hand, I'm going to put a little bit closer and cut the angle a little bit off. Right about there. I can play the 2 in the lower right, 3 in the left side, and then get on the 5. Got a little too much, so I'm going to have to kind of punch draw this. I don't know what you call that. Stun draw, I guess, is the best term for it. Over to the left rail and out. I have the 3 either in the side or in the top corner. Just depends on the angle that I get. I could take either here, but I think if I play it in the side lightly, I don't really like rolling shots, but this one might be a good one to do. And then I should have an automatic position on the 5. Yeah, that's a dangerous... I mean, look how... On this fast table, look how far the cue ball traveled just by that light stroke. It's almost like the cue ball accelerated off the 5. Now here I'm just looking at the angle on the... If I basically get back to where I am, if I still have a decent shot on the 7, I'd like to come out a little bit more. Not too much draw on this, mostly just kind of punch it to the rail and out. Just like that, a little bit of right spin, or sorry, left spin there. I got a really good angle on this. There's a number of different ways I can do this. I kind of like going 2 rails, top rail, left rail, and then play the 8 in the same pocket. You'll see my hand is twisted here. Certain shots, it's more natural to not, for me, obviously. Depends on the spin I'm putting on, depends on my focus. Then when I wanted to stun a little bit more down the table because I made this 9-ball shot harder than it had to be. If I was like in between that one and the lower right donut dot, I have those on my table because I use the Mighty. I do the Mighty X drill, especially now with trying to fix my grip. But I managed to play that shot. I do practice that shot quite a bit. I recommend for rotation players to practice that shot, leave the 9 pretty much where it is racked and just shoot from all over the table. But it is 5-0. I have run 5 racks in a row and we're back on 10-ball. Now I scratched off the break. That doesn't matter. I still get ball in hand. It's still my shot. But when I break from head on, I scratch in that pocket a lot. Or one of the sides, depending on which I'm more over. So I need to work on that. This rack looks pretty nice. I can almost play a stop shot on the 1. I'm gonna play to get a little bit tighter angle on the 2, as you'll see here. And I almost got in trouble on the 8-ball. But I am clear of it. Here, I kind of just stun draw this a little bit over, maybe a foot or so. And here's where I think I made a mistake in judgment. I should have drawn this back like I've done every other shot. I decided to play this around 3 rails. And I was actually trying 4 rails to get for the 4 in the lower right, because as you can see here, and I did lose the rack already, but I want to see if the 4 actually goes past the 10 because it's really, really, really tight. And the fact that it does makes me irritated, and lost my first rack. We are at 5-1. The ghost is on the board. I don't know why there's the delay in when I do that in the graphic updating. Something I'm doing weird in post-processing. But this break turned out really well. All the stripes are kind of like right around the rack area. Only real issue with the solids is the 5-2, but the 5 does play to the upper right past the 2 if I can get on the right angle, or the correct angle, I should say. If I can be where the 8-ball is, even where the 13 is, I can make the 5 without running into the 2. The first 2 balls I need to get out of here are the 7 and the 3. I'm just going to draw this back a little bit. Just like that. Natural angle to go over to the left rail for the 4. And then I want to try to get on that angle for the 5. I may not even go to the rail here. Oh yeah, I did. I had to actually hit that pretty hard to get that much angle. But this is pretty good. I can take this kind of back to where it is, the same line. I needed the telestrator to draw on the screen. If you can see where my finger is pointing on the screen, never mind. But I want this to come over so I can play the 5 without hitting the 2. Fortunately, I way under hit that. And now it's in a goofy spot. I can still make the 5, but I'm definitely hitting the 2. Shaking my head here because I know I kind of screwed up and made a problem out of this. What I'm thinking is that I can follow through the 2 ball. If I put some right spin on it and some top, I can go, and I'm looking at that right now. I can hit the 5, make that, hit the 2, come off to the right rail, and the 2 is going to kind of stay there or be pushed to the rail itself. I hit it really, really thick, but the 2 ball came out perfectly. The 8 ball does not pass the 13 in the lower right, so I need to find another pocket for this. I don't have a whole lot of angle. I wasn't really expecting the 2 to be there. I was expecting it to be like on the right side, so I could just basically play a stop shot on it and play the 8 in the lower left. So now I have to punch this to the rail past the side pocket so I can play the 8 in the right side pocket. And that's, you saw how hard I hit that. That's about as much as I could get on it. So grab the shorty cue. And I'm back on the winning track. Up 6-1 now. And we are at 9 ball. Decent break there. Left the cue ball kind of in the middle of the table. The obvious issue right away is the 8 and the 2. And there's no easy way to get at it. Can't really put the cue ball behind the 1 and play it all the way down and follow into it. That's opening up some problems. So I'm trying to go right into the 8 here and just hope I have a shot on the 2. I'm hoping the cue ball goes into the 8, the 2 goes kind of down the rail, and the cue ball pops out then. Unfortunately, I hit the 8. I hit the rail first, then hit the 8 really thick and just have this little bitty angle. It looks like it could go, but this is one of those where you have to get the cue stick out of the way because it can double hit the cue really easily. You got to kind of poke at it, and because I did that, I just missed. Somewhere on the ceiling is the answer to why I missed that, which is why I looked up there. And we're at 6-2 back on 10 ball. Made the 8 ball there. And here, from my last Ghost match, this is a very similar shot to one of the ones I had. That was it 8 ball or 9 ball? That was probably 9 ball. And there's not a big window to the 2. And the 1 is way up there, and I could probably go play the 1 on the upper left, put the cue ball on the right side. I'd have to get past the 9 and then try to wiggle my way between the 6 and 5. But if I take this and go right to the rail, I should be able to get the 2 and then enough on the cue ball to be able to go to the 3. Unfortunately, I went too far. Did not get a very good bump on the 7, and now I'm stuck. There's no good way to do this. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to masse around the 7, rail first, make the 2 have the cue ball come out. But I didn't get the masse to stick at all. It hit the rail and all the spin came off it. So that's what I was expecting to happen in these 10 ball racks. So 6-3, the Ghost is making a comeback. We're back on 8 ball. I changed my break up from the side ball break to the head ball break because I wanted to, or the second ball break to the head ball break because I wanted to get a better spread. And I immediately scratched, kind of what I was talking about with the 10 ball break there. If you don't hit that square, perfectly square, and you either cross over or hit a little bit to the cut side, you're going to scratch a lot. So here I like stripes because the 2 ball is a problem. I am setting myself up directly bridging over a ball, but I can get that out of the way. I can get the 15 out of the way and then head up table. I will have an issue getting on the 8, but I should be able to use one of these balls to kind of do what I did in the rack, last 8-ball rack, and come play it in the side. So I had this shot in one of the other games where I played what would have been the 12 ball here first. And I think that's a mistake because I'm going to go into the 7. So I want to play the 9, but I kind of have to draw out of this. I don't want to go into the 12. I like the 12 where it is. I don't want to move it. So I go one rail and then come right back, and I have a decent shot on, I think, all 3 of these balls right now I can make. In fact, I'm positive I can make all 3 of these balls. Now I just have to figure out which is the easiest to get on the 8 ball. I don't want to use the 10 in the upper right to get on the 8 because I don't want to somehow get on the 2 and get the 2 in the way. So what I want to do is I want to play the 10 before you have that be the first or second ball. I don't really want it to be first because getting on it. So here I'm going to play the 13 and then the 10 and then use the 12 to get on the 8. I have a kind of a decent angle. I'm a little straight. I would rather be, if I was like right on that donut sticker to the right of the cue ball right now, I'd have a much better angle. But here I have to just draw this without kind of hitting the rail like that. And I'm just going to immediately grab the short cue because I know it's coming. Almost the same shot from the last 8-ball rack. It's kind of funny how that works out. Drained it. It is 7-3. We are back to 9-ball. I was going to cut out all this, but I knew someone would have something to say about the racks weren't in order or whatever, so I decided to just leave everything intact. Got a good pop on that break. The 1 ball is kind of coming around. This is a problem. This is almost like the last 9-ball rack. I like how things are repeating themselves. Only the problem here is I don't want to go into the 3. It's, unless you absolutely have to, you really don't want to go into the ball that you're trying to get a leave on because you don't know where that ball is going to end up, and you could have a problem. You can wind up in some dangerous spots. The combo is kind of on. If I can get right on the rail, it's a better angle. I can't really get past the side pocket, so I'm not sure I dig what I'm doing here. It bounced out, so I'm on the other side of it. Granted, the position to get on the left side of it is like this much, but the combo's not on here. It looks like it's on. It's really not. It's off a half inch or so. And I hit it perfectly straight, and because it was not perfectly straight, it did not go in, and the Ghost is making a comeback here. It is 7-4. We are back to 10-ball. And this is dangerous because, as I said before, the 10-ball racks are usually the ones I'm more worried about. Did not make a ball on the break here. The 5-7, both the combo and the carom work. The 2-ball does go past the 8, so I just want to kind of get out to, if I get out to like the head spot here, that'd be okay. A little bit further, even better. Now, almost the stop shot here. I have a little bit of an angle, so almost the stop shot here would be fine. I think I have to go into the rail and come out, because I want an angle on the 3 to be able to get back up to the 4. Yeah. So got a good angle here. I'm just going to go one rail to the right rail and back up for the 4. Kind of just pointing on the table where I think I want to be. I want an angle on the 4 to be able to go into get the good angle on the 5-7. This is pretty good. Now, ideally, I'd like to be middle table. Just like a dead center table would be fine, because I'd be able to play the 5 down down the rail and make the 7 and the 5 would lay up for me. I came a little bit short of that. And actually now I have to draw into the 7. The problem here is that I don't know where the 5 is going to go. I can't play this light enough to hold the 5, make the 7, and still have a shot in the 5 in like the lower right. So I'm taking a gamble here, and I'm hitting the 5 hard, and hopefully I get a shot on it. That's all I can really say that I did. And thank you, 10 ball. The 5 flays up perfectly. That was definitely a risk. Sometimes you have to gamble in pool, and it's not the gambling in pool that you think. Gamble with shots and just hope something happens. A little close to the wall, I have to take the extension off. I do play with a 3-inch extension on my cue at all times, unless shots like this, or if I have to jack up on the rail or over a ball, sometimes I take it off. Got good on the 6 here, pretty much just stop shot or draw back a couple inches and I'm good. Yeah, and then I'm going to play the 8. I'm going to come around 2 rails, play the 9 in the same pocket. The key here is that I want to get off the rail over on the right side. This is so easy to just lay up right on the rail. And that's pretty good. Now here, this shot is kind of weird. I have it seems really easy. I could draw back, or I could go to the rail and left rail and stun out. Instead, I tried to draw, and for reasons unknown, I missed. I don't really know what happened there. I wish I did. And that was an easy out. There's no reason I should have missed that, but I did, and here we are back at the 8 ball, and it's 7-5, and the ghost is making me nervous now. So watch these 4 balls here, the 4, the 2, the 11, and the 7. Now the 7 would go in the side if the 11 wasn't there. The 11 doesn't go anywhere. The 10 is blocking the lower right. The 15 is blocking the upper right. I could use, say, the 12 to break out the 11. Could use the 10 to break out the 11. I could use the 15 to break out the 11. I'm just kind of looking at, like, how can I solve this mess to be able to get me a shot, a second shot, and be able to get through the rack. What I ultimately decided to do, this almost looks like some kind of trick shot here. What I decided to do here is if I can move the 11, it opens up the 7 for the side pocket. So I'm taking a little bit of a risk. It's coming up here as I stare at this. Maybe I won't give it away. Maybe I'll... What's going to happen here, I won't give it away, but what's going to happen here is exactly what I planned. And it worked exactly how I thought it would. The key here, I'm basically going to make the 2, follow the into the 11, hit the 11 out of the way. And the key there was I couldn't hit the 7 with the 11 or the cue ball. And that worked out really well. I have a shot in the 3 now. Ideally, I'd like to come back for the 2 rails over for the 6 in the same pocket. I kind of hit that bad. I came way above it. But there's plenty of shots here. I have the 5. And maybe I only have the 5. I have to kind of worry about this now because the 6 does not go past the 13. It does, however, go in the left side. And I looked at this and said I can just follow the 5 straight down, basically, and have a shot on the 6. And from here, I could stop it, play the 4 up in the upper right, or I could follow it and get the 7. I kind of like getting the 7 out of there because it also clears the pocket for the 4. If I'd stop it here and play the 4 all the way up, there's possibilities of getting goofy on the 7. And I missed the 6 ball by hitting the point. These are pointy, tight pockets on this table. And we're right, you can see the furnace behind us. It's air conditioned pretty well. It's usually 10 degrees colder down here than it is in the rest of the house. Pretty much all year round. Maybe not quite 10 degrees, at least 5 though. So the ghost is coming back, almost tying this. It's 7-6 now. And we're playing a 9, remember, so this is making me nervous because if it's to be expected, I'm going to lose the 10-ball rack, and it could be, the ghost could be up and on the hill after this rack and the next one, depending on how things go. So that I'm worried about. Now here I have to get from the 1 to the 2 to the 3. I left myself a really good angle on the 2 to go basically one. There's like this, these 2 3-ball alleys. I want to go right in between this alley and play the 3 in the lower right. Hit it a little hard, hit it almost too hard, but I did manage to get a shot on this, and I'm pretty sure I can hold this for the 5 in the side. This is just like a little pinch draw shot. Yeah, just like that. Now the issue here is, how do I play the 6? I'm pretty straight on the 5. We just saw the last rack actually on the 6-ball and 8-ball in the 8-ball game that I missed because I hit the far point. So I'm hedging my bets here, and I'm gonna draw it back for the 6 on the right side. And actually I got put a really good stroke on that. I can play the 6 all the way up or the side. It doesn't really matter. If I play the side, I kind of slow roll it. If I play it all the way up, I have to punch it off the rail so I don't leave myself straight on the rail for the 7. Looks like I'm going to go on the right side here. Managed to hold a good angle for the 7. I can play this either straight draw and draw back to the right side, or I can play 2 rails, follow, top rail, right rail. And that's what I tried to do there. And I got a little bit on the wrong side of the 8. I could follow this forward and give myself a longer shot on the 9. Instead, I decided to kind of pound this in, use a little bit of low right, bring it there, and perfectly in line for the 9 in the lower left. So there we have it. I'm on the hill first, and we have 10-ball for the possible win. Can I do it? And I apologize, I did vacuum out the area by the camera there, and there's some kind of spider crawling over the screen. So that's great. Monster break here. I made, what, 3 balls? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I can't count. Made 2 balls. I did scratch. Well, that was the 3rd ball. But as we know, that really doesn't matter. This is kind of a weird angle. I have to float this down the left side using some low left spin here. I want more draw than I want spin because yeah, just like that. I don't want it to hit the rail and then fly out. I want the draw to take effect first and then have the spin take effect once it hits the rail. Here I should be able to play straight top and come over for the 3 in the same pocket. I got a little goofy on it. It's pretty straight. And the 4 is not in a good spot. And I'm reaching over this thing, and it's kind of a bad reach. And I'm looking at this multiple times because I want to make sure I get this right. I can't really go forward and go past the 10 because the angle, from what I remember, I was going to go into the 10. Yeah, I'm looking at that now. So, and the draw is really tough because you can draw straight into the left side pretty easily here. So I decided to draw it. I'm hoping to get it to the point on the left side before the pocket, just like that. But instead I get all the ball and managed to get like a perfect short side leave. That was absolutely not what I was trying. I was trying to get like between the 8 and the side pocket, way over on that side, to take a tougher shot on the 4. As it is, this is a great shot. I can just punch this out, a little bit of follow, and get to the 5. Yeah, that 3 to the 4 was kind of crazy. I didn't expect to get that good of a stroke on it, jacked up over the 8, reaching all like that. It was not a easy, not an easy shot at all, and somehow I just got the stroke of my life on it. So here I got a little bit too far with the punch out for from the 5 to the 8. I think I made a mistake here, and you'll see why in a second. I'm trying to hold this, and instead I just crushed it. And I got in a really, really bad spot. I could cross over bank this in the side, but cue ball is a question there. In a game, this is so bad, I may double bank this to the top rail and play the cue ball down and play safe, but because it's against the ghost, I just have to go for it. I hate these cuts going past the side pocket this way, but I think I hit that pretty well. Unfortunately, I got on the complete wrong side of the 10, but I saw this shot on YouTube once. Actually, it comes up in every other pro match that I've ever seen, at least once per match. And I'm playing this in the lower right and straight top to cut off the angle. Didn't scratch. Arms up in the air. I actually won a match against the ghost on the 10 ball. It's 9-6. And that is that. Congratulations me. I was actually ready to post a losing match against the ghost here because of how poorly things were going before things started taking off. If you remember, I ran 5 in a row right off the first game. I lost when I got back on track. Then I have this tendency to kind of fall apart in the middle of matches for a rack or 2, and this happened to be a rack or 6 before I got back on track. But let me know what you think of this. I think the next thing for me to do is to play a match against the ghost in 10 ball and take my lumps and just see how badly it goes. Like I said, I don't play a lot of 10 ball. I think it's gonna go pretty badly, but I don't want to walk in without being confident. I'm definitely gonna play the best pool I can and treat it just like any other match, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of these videos and if I'm doing the right thing here. I only have like 95 or 96 subscribers. Some of the videos have 300 or 400 views, so I appreciate it if some of you guys can subscribe. Maybe we can get to 100 by the time this video, after this video comes out. I know it's lofty goals and everything, but until next time, we'll see you later.